When you move to Florida from another place, you're going to change some of your habits. This video is about the 11 ways you know you've become Floridian. Let's start off with number one, Publix. So Publix is our main grocery store here in Florida, and it seems like there's a Publix in every corner. Now, it's a great shopping experience, and I'm sure you're going to find your own local Publix that you're going to know inside and out. I love shopping there because it's clean, and the corporation has kind of figured out how to make the shopping experience pleasant and efficient so you can go through Publix rather quickly. Number two, hurricanes are like snow days. Of course, it depends on how harsh or mild a hurricane is, but let's just assume we have a milder hurricane coming through. In schools, they're still deciding to shut down. Well, now all of a sudden you have a snow day. You don't have to go to work most likely. Your kids are home. And what do a lot of people do? They have hurricane parties, whether it's with their families or friends that come over and you have, a glass of wine, cheese and crackers. It can actually be a fun experience unless it's a hurricane like Hurricane Irma, which came through in 2017. That definitely wasn't fun. Number three, 65 degrees will feel cold to you. Of course, it's all relative to what you're used to, but if you've lived here for a while, you're gonna get used to really warm weather year round. In the summers, it's gonna be around 95 degrees. The winters are going to be milder, but it really doesn't get that cold, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And it's during those 2 or 3 weeks when the weather dips to about 65 and below that, it feels really cold. And that's when you find Floridians kind of bundling up. They'll have their jackets on, and most of them will not go to the beaches. And so the ones that go to the beaches are typically tourists. Number four, seeing alligators is going to seem normal to you. And that is because there's so many alligators here in Florida. Typically, they're going to be in and around lakes, but very often you'll see them just lounging on grass, or sometimes you'll even see them kind of walking through golf courses. More rarely, but it does happen. The novelty of seeing gator is going to wear off because there's just so many of them here. Number five, fire anthills. You're going to become so good at identifying fire anthills, possibly because you stepped on one of them, and the pain of getting stung by the fire ants is excruciating. Number six, you're going to learn to dread lovebug season. Why? Because you're going to have many encounters with lovebugs. What are lovebugs? Lovebugs are essentially flies, but during lovebug season, which is in April and September, and it lasts for about 2 weeks, these insects fly attached because they're mating. And though they don't sting, they don't bite, they do fly in swarms. And once your car hits a swarm of these love bugs, there's just remains all over your car. And because their bodies are very acidic, if you leave it on there for too long, it can actually hurt your car. It can hurt your paint. And sometimes these insects can also get kind of into the inside of the mechanics of your car and can cause some harm there. Number seven, your flip-flops are going to become your best friend. You're going to be wearing these flip-flops all over the place, to the beaches, grocery shopping, to restaurants, hanging out with family and friends. Why? Because it's so socially accepted here. And because Florida is a rather casual place, people tend to be very relaxed around here, and you want to feel comfortable, you're going to fall in love with your flip-flops. Of course, if you need to go to work or you have a wedding to attend to, you might want to put something nicer on your feet. But in general, I would say your flip-flops are going to become one of your most prized possessions. Number eight, summer thunderstorms. You're going to become so good at identifying how far away lightning is from you. You know that the number one weather-related killer is lightning in Florida. And so what you're going to do is, from the moment that you see lightning, you're going to start counting up until you hear thunder. Let's just assume you counted up to 10. You then divide it by 5, and that gets you 2, and that means you're 2 miles away from lightning. And then there's the 30-30 rule. The 30-30 rule states that if you count 30 seconds or less between lightning strike and thunder, the lightning is an immediate threat, and you need to find somewhere to shelter. And then you wait about 30 minutes after the last lightning flash before you leave that safe space that you're now in. Number 9, red tide. Unfortunately, living in Florida, you're going to become very familiar with red tide, especially when you live closer to the coast. I must say that red tide can occur anywhere in the world. I live in Sarasota, and on the Gulf Coast right now, we're dealing with red tide. What is red tide? It's when algae explodes into a bloom and it releases toxin, which can be really bad for fish. And if you smell it, if you're close to the coast, it can be bad for your lungs as well. Moat Laboratory and Aquarium, which is located here in Sarasota, their scientists are actively involved right now in determining how to lower red tide or maybe even eliminate it. I'm sure scientists all over the world are studying it as well. Number 10, you're really going to learn how to appreciate white car here in Florida because you know how hot it gets here. And having a darker car means that there's more heat being absorbed inside of your car. There's been studies done where white cars were compared to darker cars, to black cars, and on average, the cabin in a white car is about 15 degrees less than in a black car. A white car in Florida is the most popular color to have. Number 11, you understand the importance of having a lanai area that's covered. Why is it important? Because we have so many bugs, a lot of wildlife, alligators, for example, that can just creep in unless you have an area that's protected outside. I live right on a lake and I have a lanai enclosure, and it keeps out gators, keeps out bigger insects, it keeps out a lot of the mosquitoes, keeps my pool a lot cleaner. And also from a home resale value, it's only going to help because most people are going to want to have a lanai covered area for all the reasons that I just gave you. If you enjoyed this video, you found value in it, please like it. It really does help out the video. Subscribe to this channel for Florida information, insights, destinations, and real estate. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it, and take care.